to things here. Now, well, XSplit only records on one speaker for some reason. I don't know. I guess maybe they changed it. I did get a new hard drive, and I had to re-download some of this stuff, these apps, and it must have changed with my, whatever. But, unless maybe they've changed, XSplit decided to make it a paid thing, where, only when you pay for it you get both speakers. I don't know. I've looked into the, well, I'll try it again. You can't see this, but well, it's because I have that. I don't know. The speaker was muted. I don't know. Okay, so I'm in the audio mixer. Default. Parametric equalizer. I don't know. What's going on here? Doesn't say anything about balance or whatever, panning. I don't know. I think maybe it's time to switch over to OBS if XSplit insists on fucking around like that. I mean, I get it. Everyone needs to make money, I know, but I don't know. Unless it makes no difference to people, I don't know. Anyway, so tiempo, I don't know how that's pronounced. I don't care how it's pronounced. Okay, now I gotta find the origin of this. That's what I don't like about Getter, unlike Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to click on, okay, so you don't have to click every fucking thing to go move up. You just scroll up on X. But anyway, she means to oppress trans and drags. Yeah, I hope so. You sick fucks. And you know, this is coming from a guy. You claim to be a Christian, and yet you're calling people sick fucks. That's what Christianity does to people? It makes them hateful. How are they sick? I mean, I could admit that they're not right in the head if they want to change their gender or dress like the opposite gender, but I wouldn't call them sick fucks. They're just not right in the head. I mean, I could say the same about you, Tiempo. You believe that we're all born bad or shit or evil or wicked, or whatever term you want to use, and that we need Jesus Christ for forgiveness of that which we have no control over because it's a birth curse. And you're running around calling people sick fucks. You know, I mean, what is that? Everyone's supposed to bow down to your beliefs, but nobody's allowed to be at least any kind of weird. Nobody's allowed to be different. What the fuck? How do you deal with MTG looking like a dragon, a caveman? You completely ignored that one. And what did you say about that? I don't agree with everything. I'm guessing that's what you left out from Marjorie. However, she has been in America First far. Okay, so you ignore my comment about her appearance and you go on about agreeing with Marjorie. About what? I couldn't know. Obviously her oppression tactics. But you don't agree with everything from her. Why do you agree with anything from her? And what did I say? Well, obviously I asked you. You guys don't even know what America First is. And that's something else you ignored. You sound very so you're. I say that about, yes, I did call you freaks because you are. You're bigoted and you're Christian. You're mystical. So I go on about America First, and when you start insulting me, I sound very disturbed and I'm on drugs because I called you a freak and I said obviously you don't. know what America First is, because this is your response to that. So what do you have to say for yourself on that one, buddy? So false psychological analysis and homophobia triggered by my question. Yeah. Why are you so condescending? This coming from a guy who, comes down, or, what'd you say? Calling us sick fucks? Yeah, I hope so, you sick fucks, but I'm the one that's condescending. That's rich. Anyway, where was I? No phobia, just a matter of right and wrong. Okay, you want to... Well... no phobia, just a matter of right and wrong. Homosexuality is an abomination to God. So... that... just a matter... You don't explain anything here. Well, I don't expect anything from you because you know you have nothing. You call us sick fucks. I mean, you don't explain anything. You just tell them. Then you go and tell me I'm disturbed, I'm on drugs and whatever else after I obviously hit a nerve by saying you don't know anything about America First or what America First is. And now you're telling me a phobia, it's not a phobia, it's just a matter of right or wrong, but you don't explain. And then you also say homosexuality is an abomination to God. Yet, not only do you not explain, but you don't explain how that's wrong. Maybe God is the asshole here. Why do you want to appeal to God? How does homosexuality being an abomination to God make it bad? Or wrong or evil or whatever? People like to pretend God don't exist. Even if that's true, why do you pretend God does exist? Obviously, you're doing that so you can be a bigot. It works both ways if you want a straw man like that. We're not acting or pretending God doesn't exist. Well, that's what you want to say. So, I mean, what part of we don't believe God exists do you not understand or acknowledge? Why do you insist that we are acting or pretending? I don't understand that. And this has gone way off the main context here. This is about oppression of trans and drakes. I'm not even talking about gays. Nobody said anything about homosexuality. This is all about drakes and trans people. What does homosexuality have to do with either of those? And even if we are acting or pretending God doesn't exist, so fucking what? I could say the same thing about you. Why do you pretend he does exist? We can practice and promote such... You haven't explained how any of the behavior is... well, you said that it's an abomination to God, but what does that mean? How does that make it bad? You don't explain anything. Define abomination. And how is it an abomination? How can anything be an abomination to God? It is, or you're just pissed off about it to the point that you want it politically oppressed because you're pretending God does exist, just to be a fucking bigot and a homophobe and whatever else, just so you could be a cunt, just so you can behave like a fucking jerk. If you say so. Okay, now moving on from there. So that's what's going to happen when you throw shit like that at me. I'm not at all angry about this. What I'm annoyed about is that you don't explain. All you're doing is just, making assertions. It's a matter, and yeah, as for right and wrong, well, wouldn't right and wrong be blasphemous to God, as that's what the forbidden fruit contained, which Adam and Eve ate from and caused their banishment or resulted in their banishment? So how can you be concerned with right and wrong, morality, if that's blasphemous to God? and you want to talk about homosexuality being an abomination, well, okay, I'll try that instead. Maybe morality is an abomination to God then. And you're talking about what's right. This being a matter of right and wrong. Explain that. And that's essentially where it's all stopped. Now I'll go back to my. Okay, that's. Oh, okay. That was your last. Man, where you get your info? What was this? Which would confirm empty. Oh, this is. Oh, okay. This is the same one then. What does Christianity have to do with anything? In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, then all life. The life which you're calling for oppression of, politically. Politics which has nothing to do with God, or shouldn't constitutionally have anything to do with God. Separation of church and state. It's in the Constitution. Maybe try reading it sometime. Which would confirm MTG is weaponizing the government to oppress some of that created life. You preach this after expressing your support of to which you say, man, where do you get your info? How is that a valid response or question? Elaborate. Well, this is my elaboration on that. Which would confirm MTG is weaponizing the government to the whole post is about her oppressing the trans and dregs, which you approve of, which you support. And you ask me, where do I get my info? From her fucking post, you freak. That's fucking where. I mean, aside from that, you ask me where I get my info. Well, you're the one going on about Christianity. And, homosexuality being an abomination to God. Where do you get your fucking info? The Bible? Okay, you're getting your info. You're getting your info from a claim. What? I'll leave it at that.